All right, those who will join us on YouTube will do so. Uh, we're streaming to YouTube, of course, my personal page, Andre Cook, also the ministry page, Life Chapel, and then also to Twitter. You can follow me, uh, Twitter at RevAndreCook, YouTube, subscribe, RevAndreCook. Prophet Reese, son, blessings to you, man of God. Bless you. Thank you for coming in. Well, we're still dealing with, even though it is Women's Empowerment Month, our overall theme remains the same for the year, and that is purpose. I am purpose. I am the purpose of God. Purpose has spared me. Purpose will prosper me. Purpose will favor me. Purpose has requirements: maturity, sacrifice, passion, values, faith. It is also required of purpose that you live a principle-centered life, particularly biblical principle-centered. In addition to that, purpose requires that life is lived intentionally. You must be intentional about living as God has designed and that God desires. Get ready. My God, something good is getting ready to happen to you. And so go ahead, put it in the chat. I am purpose. I am the purpose of God. Deborah has got quick fingers today. She's ahead of us. And then our supporting verse of scripture from the English Standard Version remains the same. The Lord will fulfill his purpose for me. Your steadfast love, O Lord, endures forever. Do not forsake the works of your hands. The A clause, the Lord will fulfill his purpose for me. And then the C clause, do not forsake the works of your hand. Thelma, thank you for joining us. Thelma Lowe from North Carolina. I appreciate your attendance on today. Blessings to you, Nisha. Blessings, Richmond, Virginia. It was a pleasure to have you and your family attend our local church in Hollis, Queens. Your presence is missed, but I always am grateful for your attendance when you come in. All right, come on, get it in there. Join in with this. I am purpose. I am the purpose of God. Someone sent me something today, and you who follow me on Instagram at RevAndreCook, I posted to my stories. The great Bishop T.D. Jakes, Michelle, love you. Hello to you. He is a prolific preacher, teacher. And let me see if I can bring up what it was amazing. It was amazing. And I think that it's worth, let me see if I can, Purpose will keep you alive in places that would anybody else, but some kind of way you survived it, you bled, you cried, it hurt, but you made it because it was written, she shall not die here. I have a place for her to go, and some of you are living on purpose and you don't even know it. Anybody else that have been through what you've been through would have lost their mind, gone completely crazy and threw in the towel, but because God had another purpose for your life. Purpose will keep you alive in places that would have killed anybody else, but some kind of way you survived it, you bled, you cried, it hurt, but you made it because it was written, she shall not die here. I have a place for her to go, and some of you are living on purpose and you don't even know it. Anybody else that have been through what you've been through would have lost their mind, gone completely crazy and threw in the towel, but because God had another purpose for your life. Think so. My God. Listen, hey, T, miss you more. You know, I miss all of you. Dr. Wilson, Bishop Wilson, and the church, the Roy Experience. Give Dr. Wilson my regards, my love, please. And my God, did you hear that? I am purpose, and purpose, as I have said to you, and I've been saying since January 1st, purpose, the purpose of God has spared me, has spared you, and I. Purpose is not through with you. Your being here is an indicator. It is a reminder. It speaks to this truth, this one truth, that God is not through with you and purpose will prevail. Which someone put that in the chat. Purpose will prevail. His purpose will prevail. You know, when I think of his purpose prevailing, I think of Jesus. Jesus being our perfect example. Jesus, my God. Jesus, my God, Jesus, the purpose of God, the purpose of God, the purpose of God, the purpose of God. Jesus was the purpose of God, made man of flesh in the earth. The purpose of God was crucified, was crucified. But not only was he crucified, he was resurrected. Crucified, dead, buried, but on the third day, he arose. And you know, it is because of his resurrection, we're moving from Resurrection Sunday. We've made the pivot and we're moving towards Pentecost Sunday. Praise the name of our God. Get ready. Something good is getting ready to happen to you. My God, purpose will prevail. Thank you. Purpose will prevail. 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 But now with that, I want to remind you that purpose has requirements. And ladies, I've been talking to you all month. I've been talking to you all month. I've been talking to you all month, and I will continue to talk to you to empower you. I will continue to talk to you to empower you, because without you, we are not. Without you, we would not exist. And without you, there would be no gift of salvation. There would be no opportunity for fallen humanity to be restored to its creator. According to Genesis chapter 3, it is the seed of the woman that is responsible for the miraculous conception, the birth of Christ, his death, his resurrection, his ascension, his glorification, that provides for us what we claim not as religion, but a relationship that assures us that after we have experienced what is assured for every man, it's appointed to every man, every person, it's not gender specific, to die, then the judgment. And well, when we face that judgment seat, our eternal state, or being a granted eternity with God, has everything to do with the salvation that has been promised, provided, but is only possible because of the instrument of women. Women, I need you to get it together. No disrespect intended here, but I need you to get it together. Not only get it together, hold it together, keep it together, because you are the greatest influence and impact on the human race, the home, the community, the church. You are. So we are you. We are what you provide. Proverbs 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? Other translation says, who can find a capable wife. And it goes on to give us a list of her qualifications and what she looks like and what she's done, and how her children will rise up and call her blessed, and how her husband is praised in the gate of the city because of her, and how her husband's heart safely trusts in her, and how she will do him good all of the days of her life. This capable woman is you. One of you, if not, well, no, all of you, ladies, put it in the chat. Proverbs 31, woman is in me, or in me is the Proverbs 31 woman. I am the Proverbs 31 woman. Thank you for coming in, Janine. Thank you. Come on here. Come on. Purpose will prevail, and purpose has a process. So I want to share with you today what's going to make for you being healthy in all of the arenas that you participate in, and will cause you not only to be in attendance, but your attendance being impactful. Impactful. I'm going to talk to you for a few moments. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. And what I want to talk to you about today is I want to talk to you about establishing boundaries. I want to talk to you about establishing boundaries. Would you please put in the chat? Successful women set boundaries. Come on here. Put it in the chat. Successful woman sets boundaries. Successful women sets boundaries. If you're going to be successful in all areas of your life, you have to establish boundaries. You have to establish boundaries. Come on, talk to me. Put it in the chat. I'm looking for you. Khadijah, thank you. Come on. Who else? Successful women establish, Angelina, bless you, establishes boundaries. Hey there, Lady Motley. Successful women sets boundaries. You've got to accept boundaries in your home, in your relationships, in your places of business, places of education, even in the church house. If you're going to be successful at that which you are purposed to, it requires establishing boundaries. Establishing boundaries. Nakendra, blessings. All right, who else? Who else? Come on. Ladies, put it in there. Successful women sets boundaries. Always trying to always seem nice, agreeable, easy to work with will cause you to drop boundaries, especially in the workplace, because you don't want to seem as contrary, hard to work with. But you've got to remember, you have a job to do. You are a problem solver, and you are remembered for the problems you create or the problems you solve, but you're compensated for the problems that you solve. you're complicated, rather you're compensated for the problems you solve. And you cannot be about solving problems without boundaries. You know, there are those who would think, who do you think you are to have the audacity to set boundaries? But you're establishing these boundaries to protect your time, your confidence, and your space. Here's what happens when you worry about what others think. You'll stop making progress. And for some, you will cease to be a leader. Instead, you know what you become? You become a people pleaser, or worse, a doormat. And nothing strips you of authority and respect like ignoring your boundaries. Boundaries can show up in a lot of ways at work. What does it look like at work? Refusing to allow others to speak to you in a rude or condescending manner. Also, protecting your space. When your door is closed, it means it's really closed. It doesn't mean someone can knock and walk in anyway. Setting your priorities for the day based on how you best work. Instituting also a zero tolerance policy on office gossip. Also, refusing to be the fixer. Example, the one everyone goes to when something needs to be done and done right. Let me reiterate. Boundaries can show up in a lot of ways, especially at work. And let me say this, ministry is work. So even though I'm using the workplace, the professional workplace, boundaries need to be established and enforced and executed in every aspect of your life. And they show up this way: refusing to allow others to speak to you in a rude or condescending manner. No one should just be disrespectful to you, and you shouldn't allow it. Disrespectful people shouldn't have access to you. Again, I submit to you, we must learn, even when we don't feel like it, that it's necessary not to reward bad behavior. You know, people like you, people love you, but people who like and love you, two things: the good intentions can harm you, and they can also be disrespectful. Food for thought. What sayest thou? Viola says, oh my goodness. Yeah. Protecting your space. How does boundary shows up? By protecting your space. Mothers, you have to teach your children of all ages, especially when it's an age appropriate time, that children as well have to know that when your door is closed, it means it's really closed. Doesn't mean someone can just knock and walk in anyway. Boundaries are established by setting your priorities for the day. If you don't establish your priorities for the day, then people will create an agenda for your day. Their issues will become your priorities. If they don't respect what you do, they'll ask you to go and pick up the dry cleaning and go drop off the laundry, and just having you doing their stuff as if you're their errand person. Now, not making this about myself, but sharing with you from a professional level. And then, even as this pandemic has been upon us and it has forced us to sequester and to work more from home, the perception that as a pastor and a preacher, that I'm not working unless I'm preaching is more prevalent. So various people, various relationships try to schedule my day to include something that they should be doing. Set priorities for your day and set those priorities based on what works best for you. Institute a zero tolerance policy on office, church gossip. There's just some conversations you shouldn't be a part of. Just it's demoralizing, it's de-energizing, and then you don't want to be associated with it because the people in whom you are purposed to impact their lives, to change, you don't want them second guessing your character because of a reputation of being a gossip. There are people still today who are troubled by my intentional behavior not to be any and everywhere, especially among those that I know who are absolutely contrary to their ministry. In other words, I don't want to hang out with a bunch of colleagues, pastors, and I don't want to, as a prophet of God, one who has to share the word of the Lord, a personal word or a corporate word, and it's tainted or it's questionable because I'm known to hang out with the whisperers and the gossipers. How can you trust the prophetic word from my mouth when? And we have you ever heard someone prophesy and you couldn't trust it because you knew they were listening to others or you're basing that perception on based on who they're running with, and those who they're running with are other gossipers. Boundaries are also established by refusing to be a fixer. That's the person or the one everyone goes to when something needs to be done and done right. And it's sad that on your jobs, you have people who get paid equal or more than you do. And these are not managers or supervisors. These are co-workers who spend their time on the job, on social media, on the phone, or in little segments and spaces of gossip. And so problems go unsolved. But then when the crunch is in, they look for you to become the fixer. They all are running to you. Establish a boundary. I'm not going to be the fixer. Now, I will fix the problems within my download, that which is in my job description, my duties, that which is part of my responsibility. No. Let's see. Let me put something up here for you. Let's see. And Princess says, nobody will use me. Deborah has got it. Zero tolerance for gossip. Elder Jones says, facts. Deborah, set priorities for your day. Here's something I want you all to also get. Ooh. If you don't set personal boundaries, then others get to decide how they treat you. And I don't have to tell you that is unhealthy. That is unhealthy. My Lord, that blessed me. Let me see here. Give me a moment. I know. I'm creating something for you. I want to make sure that you get this. This blessed me. If you don't set personal boundaries, then others get to decide how they treat you. Did you get that? I want to make sure. I'm making sure you get this. We're on this subject for all month, so I'm not in any rush. I'm in no rush. I'm in no rush. If you don't set personal boundaries, then others get to decide how they treat you. Janine says, so true. Angelina says, I got it. Princess says, right. Angeline says, stand up for yourself. Deborah says, so true. If you don't decide. All right, I've got a little more time. Let me take 2 more minutes. Proverbs 31 woman sets boundaries. So with that, and I'm going to conclude. Imagine what your workday and your life would look like if you set boundaries for yourself and took charge of how you wanted to be treated by others and how letting go of the need to be liked can free you. I'm going to put that up there on the screen for you as well. My God, it's blessing me. I'm sharing with you, and it's blessing me. It's speaking to me as well. Let me get that there for you. Let me see here. All right, let's try this again. I'm working on something. It's to your benefit. I know. There's this. Okay. Imagine what your workday would look like if you set boundaries for yourself and took charge of how you wanted to be treated by others and how letting go of the need to be liked can free you. Ladies, there is a Proverbs 31 woman in you, which means you are unforgettable. The Proverbs 31 woman was unforgettable. She's rare. She requires pursuit. She can be trusted. She loves to work. She understands the need for change. She's responsive to the needs of others. She is comfortable and competent in the world of business. She's cautious in decision making. She is physically fit. And one thing that you'll find about this Proverbs 31 woman, which is you is she is you. She does not require constant reassurance of her self-worth. And in the business place, that often becomes the reason that she is accessible to everyone, and why she doesn't have a policy that when my door is closed, it's closed, because she wants people to come into her space to offer her reassurance. But a Proverbs 31 woman does not require constant reassurance of her self-worth. Proverbs 31 verse 18, and I conclude with this: she perceiveth that her merchandise is good. In other words, she knows her worth. She does not need for others to reassure her. She does not require men to be constant cheerleaders in her life. Her husband is not always needed to hold her hand and speak in effusive compliments. Even though he praises her, she walks in total peace. She exudes excellence. She puts quality into her work. Her work puts quality back into her. Galatians says this in its 6th chapter, verse 4, but let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. Did you Paul slams this thing home. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. Proverbs 31 woman does not require constant reassurance of her self-worth. Hey, about that time, my God, if this didn't bless you, just get to it. Rochelle, get to it. Ain't nothing to do but to do it. Start small, and you'll see progress. Beloveds, purpose is requiring that you establish boundaries. That you establish boundaries. If you don't, others will. Others will. Hey, y'all, gonna let you go. I'm gonna hit on this again next Wednesday. This coming Friday, I'm gonna introduce it, but I'm gonna return with my special guest, young author of a self-help workbook, Knowing Yourself, Jasmine Stevenson, and I'm going to be joined also by her mother, and they're going to take a look at her workbook, provide discussion and discourse, and her children shall rise up and call her blessed. We wouldn't have Jasmine Stevenson without her mom. And so they're coming through on Friday, 12:30 to 1:30, Lunch and Learn. Hey, has this been a blessing? Has it been a blessing? As it has been a blessing, would you be kind enough to sow a $12.30 seed for the hour of Lunch and Learn? $12.30. You may be able to do more, triple it, double it, triple it. For some of you, this is your home church, the online campus of RevAndreCook Ministries. It's like chapel. Present your tithe, your offering. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. There's a ticker. But let's do this. Let's make sure this information is huge, enough for you to see it without missing it. Cash App, $ RevAndreCook, also PayPal, RevAndreCook, ZELLE, RevAndreCook at LL.com. Ministry website of Untitled Mailing address, RevAndreCook Ministries, 19 High Ridge Road, Suite 8234, Stamford, Connecticut. Ministry telephone number is 866-922-6995. The extension to SO is 118. Father, for these who have viewed and will view, your blessings be upon them. They rise up without fear and establish the boundaries that will make them impactful in fulfilling their purpose. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Father, I bless you for it in Jesus' name. Hey, y'all. As I said, I'm back on Friday at 12:30. Join me on this coming Friday. It'll be it'll be on the various social media pages. I'm in Ansonia, Connecticut. I'm joining my spiritual son, Prophet Sylvester Jones, the Kingdom Life Deliverance Ministries, in celebrating the life of Prophet Sylvester Jones. I want to see you in a place called there. That information is going to be made available to you on Friday night. I believe service start is at 7 p.m. Elder Jones, what is that service time? I would love, if you're in the area, Connecticut, meet me. Sunday morning. Jasmine, I just mentioned you. See you and Mom on Friday at 12:30. And so, let's see. Well, the information will be provided. I'd like to see you in the place called there. Friday night and early morning, 8 a.m. Sunday morning. Then Sunday at 11:30, join us. I'm going to be preaching. I get an opportunity to preach in this Women's Empowerment Month. Boom. But the fourth Sunday, we'll be joined by Dr. Shana Yusay. And then on the fifth Sunday, 2 services, both in person, 9 a.m. and 11:30, asking the church body not to miss either of those services. I want you in both of those services. It's Life Chapels United. It's going to be awesome, but it's also prayer day for us. We're going to be out there, women in prayer. And then women in prayer. Then also, we're going to look forward the conclusion of the matter at 11:30 from Dallas, Texas. Prophetess Barbara Calloway. Get ready. As we are pivoting to Pentecost. Yeah. We getting ready to be blessed. All right. Rochelle, I'm not sure why you saying there's no sound. Everyone else hears me? Have you sown your seed $12.30? Or you're going to double or triple the seed. If you've been blessed today, there you have it. All right, they say that they can hear me. I appreciate you. Hey, y'all don't want to go. I've been doing my best on Wednesdays to hold you from 12:30 to 1:15, but it seems like it's just also becoming an hour show. But I'll see you on Friday. Until then, remember these words: you cannot offer to people what you do not have. Elevate your mind, your feet will follow. Make your smile your style. Somebody's watching you that can greatly bless you. You cannot live a positive life with a negative mind. And then again, individual, but yet a corporate prophetic word. Something good is getting ready to happen to you because something good is getting ready to come out of this. And with that, I bid you a superior rest of the day. And until we gather again, shalom.
You made it through the night, darkness is over, something good is going to happen to you. Change your life, change your day, change your life, change your day, change your life, change your day, change